Hello everybody, welcome. Finally, here it is, my Starfield review. I have put in around 120 hours into the game right now. And I have finished a lot of the game, like the main quest, a lot of side quests. I have landed and explored several moons and planets and that sort of thing. But I'm not finished to 100%, I absolutely not. I mean, it's going to be impossible for someone like me. So yeah, let's jump into it. First and foremost, am I impressed by Bethesda's new game? Well, actually, I am. There's a lot of good things about it, but there's also a lot of bad things, and we're going to dig into it. So let's begin for. Let's just jump into it. Like for example, let's begin with graphics. Graphically, it is a step forward for Bethesda, absolutely. Is it 16 times the detail? Uh, Not really. Maybe. I mean, kinda. I'm a little bit on the edge here because yes, it looks upgraded. Like yeah, the Bethesda has indeed upgraded their graphics. Absolutely, from Fallout 4, you can definitely see the difference. Um, and also there is a lot of graphical options, thankfully. So there's some plus for that. So good on you, Bethesda. But it feels like because of the graphics, the engine is indeed struggling. When it comes to the what do you call it, the creation engine, this is the creation engine 2, I think there is. It is an upgraded version of their creation engine, their game engine, if you want to call it like that. Uh, uh, I gonna be honest here. The creation engine is not built for this stuff. Unfortunately, the creation engine is indeed, it has its charms, absolutely, it does. And it is, you can definitely see that, yeah, the creation engine has been updated. Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I just don't feel like the creation engine was built for this sort of thing. I think they would have, if they would have chosen a better engine, Unreal Engine. You can't argue with me or anyone else out there. The creation engine compared to the Unreal Engine, the Unreal Engine is just going to smack any kind of engine today. I mean, it's almost unbeatable at this point. I mean, if anyone remember that the Matrix demo, I mean, it's impressive. So graphically, I would say that yeah, I was impressed. There were some places that were just absolutely beautiful. Some planets or moons, mostly planets, are just beautiful. And when it comes to the graphically, the environment, the shadows, the fog, the morning lights, the sunsets, and yeah, it is in, yeah, it's beautiful. The procedural procedural generation, I think it's called. It's really impressive, absolutely, but it suffer a lot of things as well. We are going to go much more deeper into it when it comes to exploration, but right now graphically, I would say yeah, it's a step forward for Bethesda, but the creation engine, I don't think it's going to be living up, so to speak, for the next generation of video games. Unfortunately, is this kind of like a next generation video game? No, I don't think so. No, Skyrim was absolutely a game of the generation, including like The Witcher 3. So even GTA 5 as well. But do I think this is the video game? Or say, sorry, the game of the generation? Mm, no. In matter of fact, I feel like Hogwarts Legacy had a much better graphic than Starfield. It's a little bit here and there. Some places Starfield just looks absolutely beautiful when you are out and exploring. And as I said, all these canyons and mountain and coastline. It looks beautiful. But when you look at it much more closer, yeah, you can definitely see a little bit of the Bethesda and Creation Engine shenanigans. So graphically, 1 to 10, absolutely a 7. I think it's like really good graphics. Uh, do you need a beast of an engine? Well, it depends on the recommendation here. Now I have a 3090 Ti, so my computer could take the hit, so to say, pretty well. And yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, graphically, it's a step forward. Not a massive step, but it's a step forward for Bethesda. Music, I'm gonna go in with the music as well. I gotta say, the music is really good. I mean, Bethesda has done some really amazing music over there. Like Skyrim. I'm still listening to music the in Skyrim, like when you're out traveling, that sort of thing. It's so beautiful. Starfield has indeed like a lot of good music. Even the combat music is really good. It makes you pump up, but it does repeat itself a lot, like the same kind of themes in sort of way compared to like Skyrim or even Fallout 4. Here, unfortunately, the same kind of music is just repeatedly coming back. So even though it's just beautiful, sometimes it's just something else. And I gotta also point out a massive disappointment. I don't know if it's in the game or not. I mean, I tried looking for it. Radio. Where is the radio? Like Bethesda. I mean, Fallout 4, you Fallout 3, Fallout 76 even. Where is the radio? Like there is a news kind of radio station, the SSNN, the system Star System News or something like that. Where is the music? Where is my radio? Like I want to listen to like a kind of like a like the radio station for Fallout 4, like Travis, or even Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas with or was it Fallout 3 with the Hound Dog? Don't remember exactly. Yeah, I haven't not found any kind of radio station, so unfortunately that's a massive disappointment. But they were probably going to implement that in some sort of DLC or something. Maybe, don't quote me on that as well. So yeah, but the rest of the music is really good. Like I really love the theme, and it really makes you feel like adventure in space, like exploration kind of feeling. So it gains a plus, but it also takes away a plus for a lot of things. So musically, I will say the quality, it's a 6, but when it comes to the diversity and the variety of music, 5, maybe 4, unfortunately. So yeah, but still the music is really good. So what about the combat? The combat, I gotta say, this is actually one of the most really fun combat I have had in a Bethesda game for a very long time. I mean, Fallout 4, when was that? Like 2016 or something? Even though I played it several times afterward, like maybe a year ago since I played it. So I need to compare a little bit of the combat from Fallout 4 and Starfield. But I gotta say, Starfield feels really good. Like the zero G combat is amazingly fun, and the space combat it's good. Though it could be a little bit too easy, if I want to say it like that, even on the harsh difficulty. But yeah, it was really fun in space combat and that sort of thing. So coming from someone who has played Elite Dangerous for a long time, so the systems and the combat, it did feel very the same-ish, but so I could get into it pretty easily. So for newcomers, maybe they're a little bit more, maybe not so much of a challenge, more like a new learning curve sort of way. And the combat, like pistols and shotguns and rifles, I mostly kept to the shotguns, the old Earth shotguns, the pump action shotguns. I mean, that one, it's a beast. Holy hell. I mean, I carried a lot of variety of weapons, like the pistol. I used the old Earth pistol. I don't remember what it's called. It's basically a 1911. I really like that one. And the rifle, I used that hunting rifle, not the old rifle, they kind of like new. I don't know the names of this rifle, so sorry for it, but it's basically a sniper rifle. So yeah, it was really powerful and I liked it. Now then I carried around the laser, no, the modern day shotguns. in Starfield, like that big, really cool looking shotgun. I really like that design. I mean, whoever designed that rifle or shotgun, sorry, earns a medal here. So yeah, the variety of combat is really good. As I said, the only thing I would say that disappointed me was the melee combat. It was trash. I mean, even Skyrim has much better, more fun melee combat than any Bethesda game so far, in my opinion. So yeah, melee combat, a massive disappointment. There's not a lot of variety as well. There's like knife. There are some else, but majority are just knives. So not. So yeah, it's melee combat is indeed a massive disappointment for those who are more into melee combat, that sort of thing. So I'm sorry, this game is not for you. This is a range weaponry kind of game. Then you have the special powers you can gain over the time. This is basically your dragon shouts, if you want to call it. You can go out and collect them here and there. I didn't use them that much. There were some I did use. For example, the push way or the shock way was really useful in my opinion. The dashing was actually really useful. The anti-gravity field was also pretty useful, but and the time slowing, but the rest just didn't really use. So it felt kind of pointless, all of them, except for very few. And it was very rarely I actually used them, because the enemies, even on the highest difficulty, were very easy. So I could easily use my weaponry, even my pistol. So unfortunately, they were just not that used compared to the shouts in Skyrim, where you could use them quite often, and you pretty much really needed to use them. Here, not really. You didn't. Not even when you were fighting Starborns. I felt like, I'm done. Let's go. So yeah, I felt a little bit disappointment in enemy variety as well, because when it comes to combat, the only enemy you're going to fight here is either young spacer, kind of like pirates, crimson pirates, 3-star rangers, and UC vanguards, kind of, or marines if you want to call them. So, but the point is that everyone feels the same. It's not like Fallout 4 where you have the raiders, you have those military guys. I don't remember their name, something. I don't remember. They're kind of like a raider game, but you just have better gears, like military gears. And the thing is, all of these different faction as well, they all use their own tactics. Like for example, raiders mostly close in on you. Those militaries try to stay on medium range, and then you have Brotherhood of Steel that mostly focus on closing in with their heavy armory and their power armors, that sort of thing. And then you have Minutemen that mostly keep to their vast distance, because they have much more of a sniper rifles, if I recall more, or muskets, laser muskets, snipers, that sort of thing. So yeah, the variety is unfortunately not there. Not even the animals you can encounter on planets. All of that feels a little bit too the same. So that's something we're going in on exploration. But combat variety is unfortunately very, very lack of. So from 1 to 10 in combat for itself, I would say it's an 8. It's a really good combat system, and it's really fun, and animation, all that sort of thing. But combat variety, I gotta give it a 4. It wasn't a lot. Not even a Starborn felt like they were special. They never really used the powers against you, like the slowdown time or dashing. The only thing they actually used was either the shield or kind of like a stealth boy, if you want to call it like that. There was only those two. Like they felt very, very easy to kill, in my opinion. And to be fair, I mean, when you have reached past either level 30 or 40, you are a beast. I mean, there's going to take a swarm to kill you. Not even the Terramorphs are enough to kill you. And speaking of the Terramorphs, in the beginning they are actually really a challenge, and you are a little bit afraid to encounter them. but they are very rare compared to Deathclaws. If they feel like so rare, and they don't feel that scary in my opinion. You just feel more like a tank compared to Deathclaw. When you see one, you're scared, like, well, you're like, oh my god, let's rush the other way. But Terramorph, I didn't like the design. The design was very basic and generic when it comes to like alien designs. I was like, couldn't they go something, like the aliens? They look different, they feel different, they act different, and they're just cool. Terramorphs, basic and generic. I didn't like it. But let's move over to exploration, the selling point of this game. Sorry for that. Had a little visitor. Where was I? Exploration, the selling point of this game. Yes, exploration is part of the game. There's a lot of explorable planets and moons, but because it's a procedure generated small zones that you can go into, you can't really explore an entire planet. In a kind of way, yes, you can, like they said in Bethesda, like they were marketing, but you can't really explore the planet like completely, like in Elite Dangerous or even No Man's Sky, which is a massive step forward in space exploration, that sort of thing. Here, unfortunately, you select a zone where you want to land, or you select a place where you want to land, could be anywhere, and you go down and it procedurally generates a zone, and this zone is around maybe 4 kilometer big from your ship. It depends. It varieties in there. Sometimes it can be 2 kilometers from your ship. Sometimes it could be 4 kilometers for your ship. So it's a little bit different randomly here and there when it comes to how big the map is. Even in space, that sort of kind of thing happen as well. A little bit bigger though. And you can, when you reach this end zone, for example, the map boundary for the zone, you either going to get an option to return to your ship, or turn back, or land in another spot. Even if you see a mountain on the other side of the border and you want to climb that mountain, and you try to land on next to the zone if you as close as you can, but the procedure generating is going to create a completely new map. So it's a little bit of disappointment in my opinion when it comes to exploration. And also the exploration is feeling very empty. I mean, you scan for minerals, resources, and different faunas and floras. It's part of exploration, and you have some interesting places here and there, but a lot of them feels the same, and they are so far away from each other. It's like there's almost nothing to do between these places. And I think the rule, I don't remember what it was called, but the rule of exploration or something like that, you have to have things happening in between when you are exploring certain points, but otherwise it's going to feel really boring. And here I gotta tell you, it's boring. So which is a little bit, which is indeed a disappointment. I mean, No Man's Sky fixed that absolutely over time, and the Elite Dangerous is still a little bit, it's very rare that you actually land. So but when you land, you find something really fun. But here, I did have some fun exploration here and there, absolutely. But unfortunately, exploration is indeed a little bit of disappointment. It's not just because it's a small zone or that sort of thing, that's just a small part of it, but also because there's not that much reward, I should tell you, that for exploring. Like, you don't really find special rare items like weapons or something. For most of the time when I was finding these exotic weapons or suits or clothing, whatever, it was mostly when I was doing quests, side quest or main quest. But I will say, yes, the procedural generated engine or whatever they're using, it's impressive, absolutely. It was very rare that I found a tree floating or something really weird, but I would say that the procedure generated regeneration here is actually really good, absolutely. So I feel like it's going to be a massive tool for Bethesda when they're going to create bigger maps, in the future. Like I think they might be using this tool in the future for possibly in the next Elder Scrolls 7 when that came out is going to come out in like 20 years from now. So yeah, I mean, it is a tool to say that they can absolutely use. I agree with that. But otherwise, I feel like exploration it was a little bit here and there. Sometimes it can be very boring. Sometimes it can be really fun. Sorry, as I said, it could be really fun. It compare it to No Man's Sky. Exploration in No Man's Sky feels so much more fun, and that's it. So exploration 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 5. It is average, so but it feels like we have advanced so much more. Here's the thing: if Starfield came out, let's say 2018 maybe, then yeah, this would have been a game changer sort of way. Like it would have been looked at with much more positive reviews and sort of thing when it comes to exploration. But right now, when we have other video games with much more fancier exploration, so it's kind of like with that Baldur's Gate 3 right now. Like the standard of video games has the bar, so to say, has risen. It has been raised to another level. So unfortunately, this game falls back on that a little bit when it comes to exploration. But otherwise, I would say the procedurally generated areas of planets and moons, so it can look so beautiful. I mean, it's very hard to find a place where you want to set down an outpost. So what about the story and side quests and that sort of thing? I will spoil. This is a spoiler review, so if you don't want that, click off. So the story begins that you are a miner for a company, and then you find these artifacts, and it shows you a vision or something, and you get conscripted into the constellation. You don't really get a choice here, so unfortunately, it was a little bit of miss of Bethesda to you do that. Like this is an RPG, right? So I should have the options and not join them if I don't want to. But that's the thing. So you go to constellation, you get conscripted into it, and you go out and find these artifacts that are located at different planets around the local systems, that sort of thing. And you're also going to be hunted by these starborns. So starborns are dimensional, or I don't really know what to call them. I'm gonna call them dimensional beings. You can in fact become one as well. How I'm going to explain to you. So you find all of these artifacts, you bring them all together, you build some sort of gateway or something. I don't know exactly what it was called, auxiliary or something like that. So you use that to get to the center of creation. And here's the thing: the ending of this story it's not humongously complicated, but it does give us that 2001 Space Odyssey kind of ending. Like it's so just I have so many questions, and I even know asking them and get some sort of answers. It's just they are so you're trying to hide something. I want to know who created the Unity, why, and how. And when you ask that sort of question, you always get kind of like the diversional kind of answer, like, oh, you answered that question by asking it. Like, what? Do you mean like human built it? Or I don't understand. You have to explain this to me. Was it God? Was it another alien race? What is the original universe then? Like, it is so many questions that I have that I didn't get a single answer for. So yeah, and I didn't in my first playthrough. I went through the Unity, and then you can become a starborn. And if you go through the Unity, then the game you enter into a new universe. So basically, it's kind of like a Rick and Morty kind of thing. You just enter into another universe. It can be random. I mean, in some of them, I could just find another version of me in Constellation, and another one. My other version is just a murderer, and I mean, it's a really cool concept. I will grant you that. It's a really cool concept. It kind of makes the game go in a loop in sort of way. So that's basically, there's no ending to this game. It's just a loop. So you can play it for almost infinity without having an actual ending. Um, I feel like you should have the option, if that's the case, if you really wanna end the game, to like, there's an option where you can then reject the unity, you can walk away, but it allows you to come back, like you can use it whenever you want. And I feel like, why would I want, like, all of this, I don't know anything about you, I need more answer. Obviously the first one I went through, so basically you walk through and you become starborn. There, some part of yourself is going to be merge or something with the universe you were born in, and the next one you're going to in another. It's just, what the, wait, I don't want to go through the unity, I want answers, and I don't feel I'm going to gain more answer for walking through it, because the only reason for you to walk into the unity is either because you want to play the game again in a different universe, reset everything, or you want powers, because that's the main thing. You're going to go level up more, or you're gonna get more powers, that sort of thing, as a starborn. I just felt like I don't want it. I mean, I don't know. There's some sort of contract here, an invisible contract that I can't sign, that I have to sign if I'm walking through that unity. I don't want that. I don't know the condition here, except for the very small one. Like, I still need answers, like who built this, so where does it come from, and that sort of thing. But the main quest, I would say, from 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 6. It wasn't really the most mind-blowing cool kind of story or something like it, but it has some really cool ideas, absolutely. But I feel like the story was very much like, go and fetch the artifacts, go and fetch the artifact here, go and fetch the powers over here, go and fetch the artifact over here. Like, I thought we were an exploration club, you know, like go out and explore new plants and sort of thing, and new life, not just going off these artifacts. You can do that sort of exploration mission in Constellation, but they are very boring. But I will say the side quests, some of them are really good, some of them were just pointless. Like, for example, the Vanguard quest with the whole Terramorph origin story was actually really cool. I really liked the Vanguard quest. So yeah, it was a plus for me. However, I wasn't. I am not a UC kind of guy. I was like, I don't care about the United Cause. I don't care about the Vanguard. I don't care about New Atlantis. Where's the cool guys? Where's the Freestar Collective? So I just went to Freestar and just became a ranger. And unfortunately, I felt like, man, the Freestar ranger side quest was really boring. It's basically like a we call it like conspiracy kind of quest. Like, it was so boring. I was like, what? And I gotta say, where is the war quest? Like, there was a war prior to the story, the colony wars. Why can't you have the option to join one side or the Varun, or you can join almost all the factions? But I want to join, for example, Freestar Collective, and I want to be part of a new war, like a new colony wars. Like, because here's the thing, Vanguard has a quest where basically, or let me refrain that, there's a lot of lore in this. So basically, after the colony war ends with a treaty, the Versailles Treaty, so to say. So it basically banned all mech manufacturing and what we call it, xenomorphic studies or something, warfare, I don't know, anything that has to do with weaponizing animals, completely gone. And also to build mechs. I don't understand why you wanna why we need the mechs against the Terramorph. How dumb are the people who signed this treaty? So anyway, and another term was that the United Colonies was supposed to hand over war criminals to be persecuted. And in secret, they kept all of them, and specifically one, but they pretty much kept a lot of them alive, even though they weren't supposed to. Because if they kept them alive, they broke the treaty, and a war between the Free Star and United Colonies will begin again. So I was like, when I first saw that in Vanguard, like they kept one of their guys alive, I was like, dude, I would Snowden this to the Free Star Collective directly, and you don't get the option. I was like, why can't I tell the Free Star, you know, the guys I'm supporting, the guys I'm actually want to join, and just find so much more cooler. So I was like, why can't I just tell them, like, yeah, you know the United Colonists, yeah, they're breaking the treaties, and let's go out there and bring some war. So yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to initiate a war between Free Star or United Colonists so far that I know. There might be, I don't know. If there is, I'm going to do it. But yeah, I would Snowden, like, living hell, every single state secret of the United Colonists to the Free Star if I got the option. So another quest was if you go to that paradise planet, you encounter a colony ship that's been or a generational colony ship that's been traveling for almost 200 years in space to this specific planet that's already been colonized by a corporation. And it's so stupid. Like, it's like you go down there as a negotiator. It's like, okay, they want to settle on this planet and they've been traveling for a long time. Can't you just, give them a place on the other side of the planet? But they're like, no, we can't do that. That will destroy our image as a perfect planet. Like, okay, listen to me. Listen to me closer right now. How about this? You let them settle on the other side of the planet, right? Okay. You kickstart them with their farming equipment. Like, you help them to place seeds and start their agricultural advancement. And you know what's going to happen? In a matter of maybe 5 years, you're going to be able to buy cheap goods. Like, instead of importing it from other planets and just have them pay for transport to your planets and have a lot of maintenance, you can instead just buy them locally. And you know what? When you buy them and give them money for their products, they will use that money to come to your paradise hotel or something and give you money, because they need somewhere to, a place to for vacation. And they just, no, they can't do that. They're gonna destroy everything. You know what? You can blow up the ship. Like, there are children on that ship. Like, are you hearing what you're saying? So you don't really, there is an option, but it's just so dumb. Like, who wrote this? So yeah, some side quests are really good, like really awesome and to play through, but some are so dumb and boring. So it just felt unnecessary in some sort of way. Compared to Skyrim or even Fallout 4, I feel like Fallout 4 has a much better main quest and a much better side quest here and there. So unfortunately, if I have to bring it all in when it comes to story, 1 to 10, a 6. It's a fine, average, good story, but it's just not a Skyrim story or a Fallout 4 story, especially not like a Witcher story. So unfortunately, the story is good, yes, but it's been dragged down a lot of times with a little bit of laziness in story wise, in my opinion. So what about the outpost system? I gotta be honest and tell you that I'm a little bit disappointed in the outpost, because I really like the settlement system in Fallout 4. I like to build my capital settlement, and then I have merchants going through to one specific another settlements that is specifically used for water, some for farming, some for gathering, scavenging for equipment and that sort of thing, and materials, and they are all bringing them back to the center. I mean, it's much more really good, how should I say, in-depth in Fallout 4 compared to this one. First and foremost, there's not that much, even though you put in a lot of perks, so to say, to engineering and outposts and that sort of thing, there's not a lot of option. Like, there are some really good one and some really like no. I mean, and also it takes humongous amount of time to build just one settlement. I tried to build like a settlements that I was like, yep, I found a really good place here. So near the beach and on the little bit of a hilltop, and I see the mountains around me. You can probably see it on the video right now. I was like, yeah, this is a good place to settle down. And it took me almost 2 days to just gather, like real 2 days, to gather all of the equipment, all of the resources. And I tried to use the cargo link, but the cargo link is so badly done. I have to tell you like that. It is trash. Like compared to the merchant system in Fall 4. Like this is trash. Like Bethesda, like Bethesda, what were you thinking about when you designed the cargo links here? There's probably going to be a modder out there who's going to absolutely fix it. Bethesda, you need to fix this. Absolutely. But yeah, it took me a really good amount of time just to gather all the resources manually or with the cargo links, extracting here and there. But it also eventually led to my inventory in my either in my ship or at my settlement to be how should I say it, to be full over just an hour. I have so much resources and that sort of thing. I can't sell them because no one's it's not that much worth to sell them, and I can't keep them because they're just taking up more and more space. So I have to build more and more storage for them, and I can't really build like a big storage for them. I mean, there's so much more. Yes, this outpost is really fucking awesome when you can place it anywhere where you want, and when you have when you have put in all of the points and perks to the outpost engineering, you can do some really amazing outpost. But the way there is so grindingly slow, and because you have to use exploration, that sort of thing, the boringness of it all, it just leaves you like, no, I don't want to do this. Like, no, I'm bored. I'm going to go and play Baldur's Gate 3 instead. So yeah, unfortunately, I just felt bored. It's really sad because I love decorating. I love customizing. It's like in Hogwarts Legacy where you can create your or design your own kind of little bit of zoo in sort of way, and your own rooms, and it's just so fun. And in gathering resources and everything is so easy, but here it's just so grindy and so boring. Like I just Fallout 4 just did it so much easier and so much more better and fun. That's the thing. A lot of people say, but if it's easier, then it's not fun. I don't know what you feel about it, but I feel like if I wanna do build, I want much more organized. I want some of my settlers to go find all these resource and materials that I need, come back later. I want to send another settler to go and fetch or go to another settlement and change resources and buy and that sort of thing, so that he can bring back here. Because of the cargo links is so really just complicated and dumb in my opinion, I was like, I'm out. I don't want to do this. So unfortunately, Outpost has some pros and cons, but I gotta give it from 1 to 10 a 4. Unfortunately, I was really looking forward to this, but I did a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun with it, but it was so ultimate boring in some places. I was just dragged out of it. I just want to just go out for a walk instead. It felt more fun than playing Starfield and build Outpost. And what about the character build up and the skills? First and foremost, the characters build up or your character creation. I'm gonna say it's a really good one, but Fallout 4 is still superior. There you can literally create yourself, like morphing your face and that sort of thing. Here, yeah, it looks good, but you don't really have too much control. Not like Fallout 4, where you can literally create yourself. Here, I gotta say, it's okay. Yes, it's from 1 to 10. It's a solid 7, but compared to something like Dragon Age Inquisition or Fallout 4, even Skyrim, I gotta tell you, no, it's a step backward in sort of way. A mild step backward, not a huge one, but just a small step backward compared to Fallout 4, which was a massive step forward when it comes to creating your own character. And the backgrounds and the skills, they're really good. Like my first playthrough, I went with my second playthrough. That's the one I didn't rush the story. That's the one I actually take my time. I choose the introvert. Kid stuff with the parents, which is really fun in my opinion. I like that kind of adding to the story, and then the adoring fan. Some people absolutely see him as annoying, but I was just let him have his fun, like his enjoy it, and so I don't find it too much annoying. When he started becoming way too annoying, I just sent it to an outpost or something like that. So yeah, I like the stories and the skills or the background traits and everything. I like that. It was really good. It's a step forward. Then you have the skills and perks. I'm not a big fan of it. I do like the idea, but because it's so, it kind of like force you to go through the Unity sort of way to gain more powers and more experience and sort of things to spend on the perks. Here I just feel like I feel much more enjoyment in the leveling system in Fallout 4, where I can actually have more control over my stats and that sort of thing. Here, there's some people who are obviously going to enjoy it, absolutely. Me, I gonna say, it's a mild, neutral feelings. There's some of them I really liked. I like the idea of the perks, but I feel like why couldn't we have something like stat leveling? I'm trying to remember a game right now where they kind of like have that, but I don't remember the game right now, unfortunately. I did remember there's one where you could have stats leveling, and you can have also kind of like a skills or perks leveling, kind of like combined. I don't understand why we couldn't have that instead, so unfortunately. But there's some people who are probably going to enjoy it more than I did, so that's it. But for me, 1 to 10, gathering merch in both the character creation and the skills and the perk system, I'm gonna give it a 1 to 10, 6. It's an average one. Average kind of system in my opinion. There are some that are clearly better, but Bethesda, it's kind of like in the Bethesda standard right now with this. So I hope to see much more in-depth character creation in the Elder Scrolls 6 and much more better stats leveling in the Elder Scrolls 6. What about companions? Honestly, they are very mild. They were Sarah Morgan, for example, was the one that I obviously romanced and married with. She actually has a really good backstory, and she actually has a really good quest, in my opinion, where you have to go and find her previous crews and that sort of thing from a battle from the Colony Wars, I think it was, and you find a child from that's the offspring from some of the crews. I gotta say that was a really good quest, and I feel like, man, here's another bit disappointment. Like Bethesda, why can't I adopt this child, for example? Like have her around, have her on adventures and sort of thing. Instead, send her to Constellation or somewhere other place. I was like, why? In Skyrim, you could adopt. Fall 4, you could have a son, but even though he's just or son in the end game, like why can't I bring her with, like like a father child kind of relationship, like that would be cool, and you introduce her to your parents and so, like there is a lot of why. So yeah, unfortunately. But as I said, Sarah Morgan's quest was really good. I really liked that one. Sam's story was just meh. There was a lot of the side characters in here, and companions, if I should say, were just meh. I liked Fallout 4, where you could actually had some fun characters like Strong or Kate or man, there were so many. Even Preston Garvey has a better story, in my opinion. Even and Preston Garvey has a very basic, generic kind of backstory and question, you want to call it. But I feel like there's no kind of like Nick Valentine kind of side character or companions where there's a in-depth personalities in sort of way, interesting backstories with consequences. So the only one I could really found was Sarah Morgan. She was the only companion I felt like that deserved in sort of way my attention and my time compared to the others. Barrett, for example, I didn't like the character too much. I was like, oh man, I actually wanted to like this guy. He seems to be a really fun one. Unfortunately, to me, I just couldn't stand his sarcasm and his way too positively, or kind of like not narcissistic, but kind of like outside view in sort of way, outside perspective, some sort of way. I was like, uh, dude, go back to the lodge. But yeah, companions, me 1 to 10, a 5. Some of them were really good, some of them were just completely absolutely boring. So yeah, some people might like them more than I do and that sort of thing. So I have to tell you, I was just bored with some of them and just actually enjoy some others. So there's a little bit for everybody in sort of way. So take it or leave it. So what about the shipbuilding? The shipbuilding is absolutely insane. A game where I can design my own spaceship. Oh, so good. I gotta tell you, I had a lot of fun customizing and building my spaceship and customize it. The only negative is that you can't really design the interior of the ship, only the outside with color and different parts. It's a little bit of a miss there by Bethesda, but hey, I can take it anyway. But I gotta say, yeah, this shipbuilding is fun as hell. Like locating, there's putting the pilot seats here and that the shield and different upgrading the shield. I had so much fun with the shipbuilding. Um, I think there was also a limit, like you can only build like the width, or no, the length. I think it was for the ship around 40 meters. I was like, man, come on, at least build up to 120 something, and you can't really place more than 100 parts on your ship before it starts to lag intensely. So there's a little bit of limitation to what you can build, but modders has found a way. So yeah, I mean, I can tell you, modders for this game is going to be insane. So yeah, shipbuilding is going to be from 1 to 10 and a solid 8. I really like it. It could have earned another point if it was interior as well. So yeah, shipbuilding was really fun. I gotta tell you, there were some really good designs, and seeing what people have done, what their designs out there on the internet and that sort of thing, and on the forums and the we call them community centers, it's insane. I mean, some people have done some really cool replicas on other sci-fi ship, or even their own ideas, even animals, and even I saw one that actually built like a revolver, a complete big ship that looks like a revolver and shooting like a revolver. I was like, people are really creative with this. As I said when I first saw that system they're going to implement in the game. Then you have the drama of this game, and if you've been living under a rock in this recent month, you know about the Heels versus Babyface situation, or AZ, I think it's called as well. I do follow me a little bit here and there, not entirely, but if you know about his rant of the pronouns, I'm gonna tell you, from my perspective, I don't really care about pronouns. I just, in my opinion, here's the thing. I'm a scientific guy. I believe in there's only 3 genders: male, female, and intersex. The rest is just completely fantasy, in my opinion. I don't agree with there's a 50 50 genders, that sort of thing. It's just completely insanity. There's only 3. Um, so I can agree with partially what he's saying. I can also say that he could have done it much more civilized in sort of way, but otherwise it's, yeah, I agree with him in some parts that yes, modern politics and modern day stuff should not be implemented in a game that is either taking place 100 years into the future or 100 years past. So yes, modern day politics are actually in this game. There are trans people or that sort of thing, like, or weird, scientifically weird, I don't know what to call them, clones or that sort of thing. So you have to experience it for yourself. There's a lot of weird stuff here and there in Starfield, but yeah, modern day politics should not be implemented in game. And pronouns it's not a big deal to me, but yes, I don't believe in pronouns or even preferable pronouns, which I just see as a plague, in my opinion. So yeah, the drama surrounding it is justified, but in one sense of it, we are tired of modern day politics in video games, and we are tired of political correctness. I feel like political correctness has gone a bit spiraling out of control. So yes, keep that sort of stuff as much away as possible. You can implement it if you're doing it correctly, but doing it so, like for example, like Baldur's Gate did, but doing it so face forward and hand fisted into your throat is that's where, yeah, don't do it. Like for if I can bring it up an example, the trans woman in Hogwarts Legacy. Like I didn't have a problem with it. I feel like, yeah, this character is trans and it's not ham fisted to you. Like you have to like this person. It felt more like she's just there, or just I don't really know what to say except like it's a character. So, huh? So I'm a little bit on the neutral side. Yes, I agree. Modern politics stay out of our video games or escapism from the reality, but also I feel like there are people who should have their, so to say, not feelings, but their life in sort of way to be implemented in a game. Absolutely should be included, but it should be much more better. Like you can do it better. Hogwarts Legacy did actually do it in a correct way. And Baldur's Gate 3 as well. Why don't you do it as that as well? But yeah, I also support his right to speak out. He has the absolute right. Like if YouTube or anyone is censoring him just because of that, because I don't see it as a hate speech. I don't see it as racism or fascism or whatever, or even violence against other people. I don't see it as that. I see it more like a criticism, which is found on actual facts and sort of thing. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I partially support him and somewhat don't as well, but I partially absolutely agree with what he said about the pronouns situation and modern day gaming in sort of way. And also we have the other people who were attacking him, like for example Ackman, who attacked him very personally. So I actually going to I have actually unscribed to Ackman, that sort of thing, because I saw that as a personal attack on someone. So yeah, goodbye there for a while at least. I mean, or until you have asked for forgiveness or something, because that was just uncool, really low in my opinion. So overall, Starfield, I would say for a completely new game from Bethesda and a completely new universe with new lore and new sets in sort of way, and also with the new NASA punk kind of theme, I gotta say it's impressive in a way. Yep, absolutely impressive. So I would give Starfield from 1 to 10. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's above average. It's actually pretty good. It's not a game of generation, absolutely not. I do feel like it leaves out a lot of things, mainly in the story and a little bit of the character build up or character creation. But other than that, Starfield is pretty good. I'm gonna agree agree with other reviews that yeah, it's good. Though it's exploration, that sort of thing is really boring, absolutely, and the outpost system and all that sort of thing is also boring and just way too grindy. So I would still say that yeah, it's a good game. It's not a game for you typical space sim kind of people, like for example Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen or even No Man's Sky. Absolutely not. This is more dedicated to I would say more like typical Bethesda fans. It's a good game. As a old veteran of the Bethesda fans, I gotta say, yeah, it's a good game. Is it better than Skyrim? No, I feel like I had much more fun with Skyrim. Is it better than Fallout 4? It's kind of on the part, to be honest. Is it better than Fallout 76? Yes. Is it better than Morrowind or Oblivion? Kinda, yeah, a little bit. Little. I still feel like Skyrim, Oblivion, and Morrowind and Fallout 4 is just better in so many ways. So, yeah, that's my review on Starfield. I hope you liked it, and if you have played it, do please tell me what you think about it. And yeah, I'm excited to see what Bethesda is going to do next with Elder Scrolls 6. So, well, that one is probably going to be like 5 years from now, unfortunately. So, man, it's been a really good year for video games, and also a lot of the disappointment. For example, Redfall and Smeagol. Oh man, there was a lot of other stuff that was disappointed. But yeah, I mean, Hogwarts Legacy. The year began really strong with Hogwarts Legacy. Absolutely love that game. I still play it from here to there. I love it. Then you have Baldur's Gate 3, which I'm still playing here and there because I really enjoy it. And now Starfield. I feel like I'm going to play Baldur's Gate and Hogwarts Legacy even a little bit more than Starfield. I don't feel like I'm going to play at least above 500 hours on Starfield compared to like Skyrim or Fallout, where I have over 1,000 hours on both of those games. I feel like Starfield, it's not really my kind of genre to jump in. Even though I love space and I love sci-fi, I feel like the only reason for me to keep playing this game is going to be modding, and modding is already out of control for this game. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the future for this game as well, like DLCs and that sort of thing. You just have to put in DLC for this game. So yeah, thank you all for watching this review, and I see you all later. What is going to be? It's probably going to be another anime figurine unboxing here and there, because there's one that's already on its way. So yeah, other than that, it's going to be quite silent, dry for the upcoming reviews. Like, there's not a lot of video games that's coming out right now, so we just have to wait till next year. But there's going to be some reaction videos, absolutely, here and there, not every day. I have a life basically, so I have to do a lot of other stuff. So anyway, see you all later. Thank you all for watching.